Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Chapter 26, Text number 4. Saesha Prakatim Sukshma Daivim Gunamayim Vibhuhu Yadruchayevo Abhyapadyata Leelaya. Translation purport by Bhaktivedanta Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. As his pastime, that Supreme Personality of Godhead, the greatest of the great, accepted the subtle material energy which is invested with three material modes of nature and which is related with Vishnu. Purport. In this verse, the word Gunamayim is very significant. Daivim means the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Gunamayim means invested with the three modes of material nature. When the material energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears, this Gunamayim energy acts as a manifestation of the energies of the three modes. It acts as a covering. The energy emanated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests in two ways: as an emanation from the Supreme Lord and as a covering of the Lord's face. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that because the whole world is illusioned by the three modes of material nature, the common conditioned soul, being covered by such energy, cannot see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The example of a cloud is very nicely given. All of a sudden, there may appear a big cloud in the sky. This cloud is perceived in two ways. To the sun, the cloud is a creation of its energy. But to the ordinary man in the conditioned state, it is a covering to the eyes. Because of the cloud, the sun cannot be seen. It is not that the sun is actually covered by the cloud, only the vision of the ordinary being is covered. Similarly, although Maya cannot cover the Supreme Lord who is beyond Maya, the material energy covers the ordinary living entities. Those conditioned souls who are covered are individual living entities, and he from whose energy Maya is created is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In another place, in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 1st Canto, 7th chapter, it is stated that Vyasadeva, by his spiritual vision, saw the Supreme Lord and the material energy standing behind him. This indicates that material energy cannot cover the Lord, just as darkness cannot cover the sun. Darkness can cover a jurisdiction which is very insignificant in comparison to that of the sun. Darkness can cover a small cave, but not the open sky. Similarly, the covering capacity of the material energy is limited and cannot act on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is therefore called Vibhu. As the appearance of a cloud is accepted by the sun, so the appearance of the material energy at a certain interval is accepted by the Lord. Although his material energy is utilized to create the material world, this does not mean that he is covered by that energy. Those who are covered by the material energy are called conditioned souls. The Lord accepts the material energy for his material pastimes in creation, maintenance, and dissolution. But the conditioned soul is covered. He cannot understand that beyond this material energy, there is a Supreme Personality of Godhead who is the cause of all causes. Just as a less intelligent person cannot understand that beyond the covering of the clouds, there is bright sunshine. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta.
The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 26th Chapter, Text number 4, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on December 16th, 1974, in Bombay, India.
Saesha Prakritim Sukshma Daiving Gunavaying Vibhu Yaditchaya Upagatam Abhapadyata Leelaya. So, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as he says, that Sambhavami Atmamaya. Sambhavami Atmamaya. Krishna and the living entities, both of them are the same quality, but when the living entities come in this material world, he is forced by the Prakriti, by the material nature. But when Krishna comes, he is not forced, but by his free will, jadichaya, upagatam. Jadichaya upagatam, abhapaddhata lila. Sometimes the Mayavadi philosophers, they also take the living entities within this material world as lila. That is not lila. Lila refers to the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nobody says that the living entity has come in this material world for lila. At least the Vaishnava philosophers do not agree with that. It is contradictory. Krishna said that when I come, jada jada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata, buddhanam adharmasya. We should not accept Krishna's coming within this material world and our coming in this material in the same process. Krishna comes as he is. He does not change. And because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Almighty, even if he comes within this material world, the material qualities do not affect him. That is, Ishanam. Just like a physician, a doctor, medical man, he goes to the hospital to treat the infected patients. So, he is not affected by the infection. He has got such precautionary measures, or he is so equipped with that he is not infected with the disease. Those who are weak, that is stated in the Bhagavatam, etad isanam ishasya. That is Isha. Isha means the controller. Rather, if something infects us, come in touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it becomes purified. Tejyasam nadosaya, it is said. Another example can be given, just like the sunshine absorb water even from urine or any infectious place, any filthy place, the sun absorbs the water. But the sun is not infected because it is very powerful. Similarly, if you try to absorb water from the urine, then you will be infected. That is called etad isasya isanam. Even those who are devotees, they are not infected by the three modes of material nature. We have many times repeated this verse of Bhagavad Gita. Mancha vicharini bhakti yogi na ja sevate sagunan samatitta etan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So, even ordinary living entities, those who are devotees, they are not infected by the three modes of material nature. How we can expect the Supreme Lord can be infected by the three modes of material nature? That is not possible. This is not, even from ordinary argument, it cannot be accepted. Krishna or Krishna's incarnation, there are hundreds and thousands of incarnation. Ramadi murtishu kalaniyamena tishtan nana avataram akarat bhuvaneshu kintu Krishna sang samabhava paramapamanayu govindamadi purusham tamang bhajami. Krishna has innumerable expansions. Ramadi, Lord Ramchandra is also Krishna's expansion. Ramadi murtishu kala. Kala means expansion of the expansion. Just like I have given this example many times, this original candle and you ignite another candle, that is second candle, and from the second, from the third, from the third, the fourth, in this way, all the candles, although you say this is first candle, second candle, third candle, fourth candle, but they are all equally powerful. So far candle power is concerned, they are equally the same. Similarly, Krishna's incarnation, Krishna is the origin, Krishnastu Bhagavan Sam, the origin person, Adi Purusha, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Still, the expansion of Krishna, that's like the first expansion is Balaram, then Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, then Narayan, and again Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, then Mahavishnu, then from Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu to Kiradakshaya Vishnu, from Kiradakshaya Vishnu, there are innumerable expansions, Paramatma expansion, Ishara Sarvabhutanam Viddesha Arjuna Tishtati. So in this way, there is, this Srimad Bhagavata says, expansion of Krishna are so many, just like incessant waves in the river or in the ocean. So that is one status of expansion. And another expansion is the Jiva Tattva. We are also expansion. In the Varaha Puran, it is said, Samsa and Vibhinnangsha. The Vibhinnangsha expansion, they are also innumerable jivas. They are also expansion of Krishna. But Samsa and Vibhinnangsha. So the Vibhinnangsha expansion, they are minute. And the Samsa expansion, they are Vibhu, unlimited. So in this way, we have to understand the distinction between Samsa and Vibhunnanga. When Samsa expansion comes within this material world, he remains Vibhu or Prabhu. And the Vibhunnanga expansion is always Anu, very small, or a servant. One is Prabhu and the other is servant. One is Vibhu and the other is Anu. So the Anu, Vibhunnanga Jiva, when he comes within this material world, he becomes entrapped, or he is that Jyoti. In the previous verse we have studied Jyoti. Vibhunnanga living entity, we are also Jyoti. Just like spark, the original fire is also fire. And the spark fire, there is also fire. quality the same, but a spark, when falls down on your cloth, it can burn a little portion. Similarly, if the whole fire comes, then you become burned into pieces. The same example again, the sun and the sunshine. Sunshine is combination, a small particle of shining molecules. Similarly, we are also the same spark. The dvipacharivahi dasam taramabhupetya dvipayate. So, Krishna and his expansion, they are all the same. And we, Vivinansa Jiva, we are very small. Therefore, our condition is different from Krishna. Krishna is not infected by the material qualities, but we become infected. Namam karmani limpanti, nami karma phalis priha, it is said in the Bhagavad Gita. The activities in this material world, Krishna remains unaffected. But we, being a small particle, we become infected by the qualities. Tilhi gunavai bhavai. So those who are too much infected by these material qualities, they cannot understand Krishna. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritaha. They think that Krishna and we are the same, but that is not the fact. Avajananti manamudha manasim tanumasita. Because Krishna comes as human being, we may think that Krishna is as good as I am. No, that should not be. Krishna is Vibhu and we are Onu. Krishna is master and we are servant. That is our eternal relationship. We should not forget that. And Saiva Prakritim Suksham Dvaiving Gunavaying Vibhu. Prakriti, this Prakriti is also Krishna's. Krishna, the Supreme Powerful, he can utilize the Prakriti as he likes. He is not controlled by Prakriti. But we are controlled by Prakriti. Because he is Vibhu. Vibhu means the great. So you cannot say great, Maya or Prakriti is greater than Krishna. You cannot say. Then God is not great. If something is greater than God, then you cannot say God is great. If you accept this, that there is no more greater identity than Krishna, then you can say Krishna is great, or Krishna cannot be entrapped. Nunam mahatang tatra. If you are smaller, then you can be overpowered by the great. If your strength is lesser than another man, say two wrestlers, if one wrestler is more powerful, he can defeat the other wrestler. So therefore, here it is said, Vibhu, Krishna is Vibhu, and if he is covered by Maya, as the Mayavadi philosopher thinks, that when God comes within this material world, he is also covered by Maya. He is not covered by Maya. If Maya is greater than Krishna, then Maya can cover Krishna. But that is not the fact.